1, 2, 3, let's go.
Wednesday afternoon. Oh,
You're frozen.
Am I back?
Yeah, you are.
Am I frozen again?
Yeah.
Oh dear. But can you hear me?
I can hear you perfectly. Oh, and you're now moving about like mad. Yeah, you're back. You're back. Well
Right,
done.
okay. Dear me. Do you want to do the introduction for this one, please?
Yes, indeed. Good afternoon. This is the Football Referee podcast that we do every week. I am Trevor Gear, and he calls me Bruv.
And I'm Emmy Hikins, and he calls me Cuz. Welcome to the Football Referee. Now, you remember some time ago we did talk about Xabi Alonso wanting to succeed.
Liverpool, yeah.
Now, today I've just read that Liverpool told Xabi Alonso is not the right man to succeed Arne Slot. So this is John Barnes.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So he was talking exclusively to Echo News, the Liverpool news outlet, that Xabi Alonso is not suitable to replace Arne Slot. Now, what that brings to me is it just confirms the rumors. Because at first, when we first read it, we thought, wow, that's strange. Why would he be there? Unless Liverpool's been talking to him. Now, for John Barnes to then weigh in, it gives it credibility that, it's actually there's been some sort of speculations, maybe actual talks going on there. Now, the question is, is there a telling that Arne Slot is likely to be sacked then? Is that what we're getting?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know whether we can take a comment by John Barnes as evidence of that. Of course, it cannot be evidence. And in a way, we're assuming that John Barnes might have, an ear inside Liverpool's hierarchy, and that what he says may reflect what's going on. I think we've said before that perhaps in some ways it might not surprise us if Slot does leave Liverpool. Certainly this season hasn't been the ideal follow-up season to them winning the Premier League last season, and they had a very good season, didn't they? Except right towards the end, after they had actually mathematically won the league, there were still a few games to go, and they didn't do quite so well. It was like, I think the saying is, the players may have been on the beach once they'd won it, so it was a bit academic about the remaining games. Well, that was kind of a bit unprofessional, but obviously we can't lay that at Arne Slot's door. But this season, they had a terrible spell mid-season, really, where they couldn't win a game. They were losing games as well. I believe they went 12 games or so without a victory, something like that. And we know the issues with Salah, who now has said, of course, that he will be leaving. It's been a difficult season. They had to face the loss of Jota with that awful car crash, which would undoubtedly have affected the players and the club. So that was a loss. They lost players through transfer. Trent Alexander-Arnold, of course, he went, and Diaz and others too. So it's been an up and down season for them. If I were the owner of Liverpool, and assuming Slot in all other ways was fine and he didn't want to go, I wouldn't sack him. I wouldn't say, no, you've got to be on your way, because they have finished reasonably well. It's not quite over yet, as we know, but they're going to be in the top, one imagines, top 5 or 6.
say hello to old Mimi, Dr. Gladys and Rose, 3 beautiful ladies who join us on our shows. There's one other bro, sometimes joins us on the show.
One imagines top 5 or 6, which is probably acceptable given the circumstances. But yeah, I wouldn't think the fact that John Barnes has made a comment like that implies that Arne Slot is on his way. I think it's because if he was connected, I don't think he would say something like that. The club couldn't afford for Slot to hear from other sources that they're getting rid of him. Now, he may choose to go of his own volition. You never know with managers these days. But no, I don't think I don't think there's any evidence that he will be leaving. Having said which, I think we've said before, it wouldn't surprise me if he does go for whatever reasons.
Yeah. So now going back to England, but first of all, let's look at these stats. So there's Harry Kane, Kylian Mbappe, and Erling Haaland national team stats. Right. So in 112 games, Harry Kane is scored 78 and 19 assists. That's against Kylian Mbappe. It's 95 games, scored 56 goals and 40 assists. Haaland in 48 games, 55 goals and 6 assists. Our man, Harry Kane, is leading, and yet he doesn't seem to be publicized that much. You know, people would talk about Kylian Mbappe all the time. People would talk about Haaland all the time. Oh, Haaland is a great player, but never about Harry Kane. But yet, he's gathering momentum, steady and quietly.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing is, you said that Haaland, you mentioned 55 games, I think you said.
At 48 games.
48 games and 55 goals, wasn't it? So 48 games. But for Kane, you said 112 games.
Yes.
And I think 78 goals, you said.
78 goals.
So, yeah, I mean, Haaland clearly on that ratio of goals to games is way out in front, isn't he? But yeah, let's face it, they're the three where presumably the Ballon d'Or will come from, because they're sort of unbeatable statistics. And for my part, I was disappointed we didn't see Kane over these last games. These last nights, and I don't think he came on the Friday night game, did he, against Uruguay?
No.
So we've had two, in my view, very disappointing performances, and on the bench.
It's me and my brother, Trevor and Fanny, South family.